Okay, I know this song is getting kind of old. Justin Timberlake, I just like his music. This is kind of a commercial for the Enneagram, HR people. I know I said I was going to do my commercials where they're up and down, but anyway, here's a story about the Enneagram, kind of a joke, but not. Okay, who am I real quick in case you're like, because not everybody's following this video. Some people are just finding my videos randomly. All right, my name is Jonathan. Email me americana417@gmail.com. I'm kind of just basically doing a Johnny Travelog. I talk about all kinds of stuff. And one thing I like to talk about is the Enneagram. And I like to do a lot more teaching on the Enneagram. I personally, the Enneagram is, you're like, what, Ennea what? I don't get it. What's he? Ennea, is that the Myers-Briggs thing? Does that mean like personality? I think I'm a winter. Like, fuck you. Okay, the Enneagram is, okay, so here's a real life story, and it's kind of a blessing to the eights, because, I've done some Enneagram 8. In fact, Google Enneagram 8, the Challenger. That's my video. But let me talk to you a great example of Enneagram 8. And here is a shout out to Enneagram 8 females, because nobody really has a harder, is it road to hoe? Or row to hoe. Anyway, to be an 8 female is very difficult. I mean, it's almost, so here it is. Okay, so I'm taking my meditative walk in Sausalito. It's where I saw all those Asians. Kind of made a joke of the day. Hala. Oh, by the way, I'm doing like a, what do you want to call it? A meta hala contest. So if you can watch my video. Oh, by the way, I'm kind of a newbie comic. I kind of think I'm funny. I think I'm really just opinionated. Anyway. Here you go. So here is an Enneagram 8 example. So I'm taking a meditative walk. You can go watch my video on the Asians. What's the definition of meta? I'm coming back and I'm walking, and like, how like sometimes you'll just come straight up to somebody and they're like walking kind of in a weird, like they're right with you. Like, maybe you kind of, so here I'm walking and I see this woman and she's coming up to my shoulder and she's walking like Napoleon, right? And I, they all say that recognition is recognition. You see your own, So I see mine. I just joked. I said, "All right, Captain, where's your crew?" And behind her, now you got to understand, 8s don't walk; they march. Okay, so here's this woman. She's marching with her children, and we're laughing because there's truth and jest, and we're laughing through, that she is. She's so alpha, and I'm high, and I'm taking my walk, and I'm enjoying, and I'm thinking, dude, and I literally just say to her, I said, you have such an amazing personality, because again, I worked, one of my first bosses was an 8, and 8s are just difficult, commanding, awesome people. So I love 8s, and I especially love 8 females, because they're just so fucking funny, and they're fucking loyal, and they like to act like they're tough. They're not. And if I would have had more time with her, I probably would have interviewed her. In fact, if you're an Enneagram 8, so anyway, so I asked her, if you're an Enneagram 8 and you want me to interview, I'd be happy to do that. Fly me out there. I'll hang out with you. Here we go. So I'm walking with her, and I finally just cut the shit. I said, all right, let me guess, CEO. I said, I basically am walking shoulder to shoulder with this chick, and I said, I'm going to play the let me guess your game. And I say, my first thing is, you're the boss, you're the CEO. She goes, I sold my company. And then I said, the next thing, I said, you have to be like a superintendent, because no 8's going to be a teacher. I mean, even though 8s are really good teachers, they kind of have to lead the show because they're so charming. And then she said no. And then I said, okay, tell me, because she was with her children, and she's probably 50-ish, marching to she was going to the ferry, and I said, let me guess. I said, so let me guess your job. And then she said, I said, so just tell me. And she says, I'm a bond trader. And I said, I knew it. I said, I did some trading, and I said, I did some Fibonacci stuff. And she goes, nice, and here's the point: is 8s are such good people, and you're like, okay, I get. So that's kind of a story of how 8s walk, and they're basically just they're captains. And if you relate to an 8, you just have to understand that they're captains. And they demand respect, and if you don't get it, they'll get it. It's just they're so fucking obnoxious, and they're beautiful people, and God made them. There's a very 8 energy in God, and I don't think a lot of people really love the 8. In fact, I will say, I got an email from somebody, and this person meant well, and she was talking about 8 energy, and she said, how does a Christian rectify? And she literally used the word rectify 8's aggressiveness and assertiveness. And what I really wanted to do was say, why does an 8 have to rectify something that's given to them by God? Like, you never hear 6s needing to rectify their lust for safety. You never hear 6s need to rectify their lust for military spending. Like 6s See, to be a Christian, it's really easy to be a 6. To be a Christian, really easy to be a 3. But there's a lot of energies that Christians just don't like. They don't like 8s, and they especially don't like 8 women. But I love 8 women. And in fact, one of my favorite 8 women is a pastor. Her name is Joyce Meyer. Look her stuff up. If you don't watch this video at all, you could be blessed by Joyce Meyer forever. So, and here's the thing, and this is kind of a commercial. If you run an HR, who you hire is so important. Knowing the Enneagram. Let me come teach the Enneagram to your HR people. And you're like, what's the value of that? I'm like, okay, here's the value of the Enneagram to HR people. What is the cost to your company for a bad hire? What's the cost? And you're like, well, if you hire the wrong surgeon. So for example, let me, I can go really, really obnoxious big and talk about like large organizations like the CIA and the FBI, but I won't go in there because does a CI really need more 6 energy? Probably not. In fact, there's a really good documentary of how the CIA and the FBI, because they're so 6y, that's how Bin Laden was able to advance, because they didn't want to share information. So, what's the value of having too much 5 energy in the CIA? So, okay, we won't go there. Let's talk about if you were a bond trader. Let's say you're a bond trader and you have to hire a manager, okay? And you need to hire a new manager because your old manager never does anything and always is trying to build a group consensus, and nothing gets done. And you're losing, let's say, $50,000 a month, okay? Well, HR people stop hiring consensus makers and hire the bond trader that I ran into earlier today, who is not going to need to build consensus. So understanding the HR, for HR people, understanding the Enneagram is critically important. And it can cost your company, by not knowing the HR, it can cost your company, well, like I said, what's the cost of a bad hire? If you would like me to come speak to your HR people about the Enneagram and show you in real life the value of the Enneagram, like I said, whatever the cost of a bad hire is, cut that in half and fly me out there. I'd love to talk to you. Anyway, there's my joke for the day, kind of a commercial for the Enneagram, but that's what this video is, just me being John and just rambling. All right, you guys have a great day. I'm going to go walk the bridge. I think I might even go to Tiburon again. Of course, I kind of backed into this. I wrecked my truck in Tiburon. But that's where Robin Williams lives. Love him. All right, Americana417@gmail.com. You guys have a great day.